Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us today. I'm Aja Goare. The FAA will order airlines to inspect hundreds of jet engines similar to the ones that exploded on a Southwest flight. Investigators say the engine blade that broke off and triggered a deadly accident Tuesday had microscopic cracks. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has the details.
Federal investigators are analyzing how one of the 24 metal fan blades snapped mid-flight on this Boeing 737 engine.
How concerned are you about the safety of 737s in general?
Well, we're very concerned about this particular event. Why did this happen? As far as trying to extrapolate that out to the entire fleet of 737s, I think that's unwarranted at this point.
Passenger Jennifer Reardon was sitting next to the window when it was hit by shrapnel from the engine. She was wearing her seatbelt, according to the NTSB, but was nearly sucked out of the plane. Medical examiners say she was killed by blunt impact trauma to her head, neck, and torso. Texas firefighter Andrew Needham was among the passengers who pulled Reardon back inside the plane.
I felt the calling to get up and do something, stand up and act. My heart goes out to Jennifer and her family. I can't imagine what they're going through.
The New Mexico mother of two was a vice president at Wells Fargo. Her sister-in-law says Jennifer lived a remarkable life.
She was just a beautiful person from the inside out.
Captain Tammy Jo Schultz was in command of this Southwest 737 when the engine blew and the plane pitched 41 degrees to the left.
I believe Captain's side is where we had the damage, and that's the engine that went out.
Schultz calmly spoke to air traffic control as she and her co-pilot Darren Ellisor steadied the 737 and began a rapid emergency descent. The pilots returned home last night and said, "We all feel we were simply doing our jobs. Our hearts are heavy." At least one member of Congress is now calling for hearings on aviation safety. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Philadelphia.
NTSB investigators expect to wrap up their initial work on site today. Meanwhile, President Trump says plans are underway for a face-to-face meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. But the president downplayed expectations for the meeting, saying he's prepared to walk out if the talks with him are not fruitful. President Trump says his main goal is the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. No charges will be filed in the overdose death of musical icon Prince. The Carver County attorney said this morning the musician died from an accidental fentanyl overdose after he took counterfeit pills containing the powerful painkiller. There's no evidence showing how Prince obtained the counterfeit pill. Because it can't be traced, the prosecutor says no criminal charges will be filed. 3 Billings police officers are being suspended for having sex on city property with a former employee fired for stealing drug evidence. Our partners at Last Best News confirmed the reports with Police Chief Rich St. John. The chief called the officer's decision to have sex with Rollins Strizich a, quote, really bad decision. Strizich was fired at the beginning of the year after admitting she stole hundreds of pills from evidence. The 3 officers have not been identified, but the chief said 2 had sex with the woman while on duty, and all 3 incidents took place on city property. The officers face up to 2 weeks of suspension without pay, but their commanders get to choose when they serve those suspensions. City attorneys will decide by later today whether to release the names of the officers. The adopted son of a man and woman beaten to death in Helena last month denies responsibility. Caleb Taylor pleaded not guilty Wednesday in Lewis and Clark County District Court to 2 counts of deliberate homicide, tampering with evidence, and burglary. Taylor allegedly entered the victim's home and killed his parents, David and Charla Taylor, with the help of another man. Earlier, the victims confronted the 21-year-old about burglarizing their business. Prosecutors have not decided whether to seek the death penalty. After a day-long manhunt in Missoula, the suspect who fled from U.S. Marshals is now behind bars. Authorities were attempting to arrest 33-year-old David Morse on a warrant Wednesday when he fled. Law enforcement surrounded a South Avenue apartment complex around 9:30 Wednesday night and took Morse into custody. Prior to his arrest, Morse crashed his getaway car. He also led police on a foot chase. He's expected to appear in Missoula Justice Court this afternoon. Rising floodwaters in 7 Montana counties prompts Governor Bullock to declare a state of emergency. The order applies to Pend Oreille, Hill, Blaine, Valley, Toole, Liberty, and Petroleum counties, along with the town of Chester and the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation. The executive order authorizes state government services, equipment, and supplies. It also allows the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to utilize sandbags for critical infrastructure protection. And a mandatory evacuation order currently in effect for residents north of the railroad tracks in Harlem. The Blaine County Health Department made that decision based on extensive flooding throughout the Milk River floodplain. And check this out. A woman is lucky to be alive today after she was trapped in floodwaters east of Shelby. This harrowing video captured Tuesday night when a pair of brothers from Kalispell spotted the woman in trouble along Highway 2 after midnight. A Facebook post about the incident states, "Without hesitation, Seth McCollum jumped into the water and swam to the car. The car was almost completely submerged when McCollum pulled the woman to safety." All along the Highline, people are dealing with flooding. MTN's Elizabeth Transu visited Hill and Liberty counties to show us the impact.
Northern parts of the state have been hit hard this past winter.
There's just a tremendous amount of water out there right now.
With record-breaking snowfall, it's time for spring, but all that snow has to go somewhere.
We started out with a drought, then we went to a fire, and then we went to extreme snowfalls with no Chinook winds. And then now we've got extreme melting and a lot of water.
And here in Chester, there's only one thing left to do.
Quite a bit of sandbagging yesterday, and then today they started early today because it's coming.
Now to give you a perspective of just how much water is overflowing Chester, here at Cottonwood Creek, between the bridge and the ground there is normally 8 feet. As you can see, the water is now up to the bridge.
They're frustrated. The snow has kept them bottled up for a long time. There's roads that we have not even been on, even to plow roads, and open them up, and now we're dealing with the floodwaters and trying to get around.
But residents are keeping positive.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. Everyone's pulling together real well.
Along the Highline, Elizabeth Transu, MTN News.
We turn now to the weather scene with Ed McIntosh, and a lot of that flooding we just saw there in that video caused by melting snow. How are we looking around the state in that regard?
We've got a lot of snow left, Asia, and here are the counties that we've been talking about along the Highline where we have those flood warnings into effect, the 7 counties there, plus several counties with flood advisories where we have some standing water in some of the low-lying areas. But it's all being fed by quite a bit of snow that's still available to come down off the mountains. In fact, the Sun, Teton, and Marias rivers could be fed by up to twice what we would normally see this time of the year, 184% of the normal mountain snowpack. In fact, running anywhere from 120 to that 184 across the state. That means in the coming weeks and days, we could see more flooding occur. The forecast coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Ed. We'll check back in. Montanans will need a real ID to board an airplane in about 2.5 years. To help us prepare for the change, the state is kicking off a new campaign to educate people about real ID. The Montana Motor Vehicle Division's ad campaign features famous American explorers Lewis and Clark. MSUB students came up with the idea as a way to spread the word about real IDs and to drive home the point that real IDs will be available in Montana by next January. Those new IDs will be required by October of 2020. The new campaign will start running in October. You can find more information about real ID on the DMV's website. Still to come on the noon news, a surfer in Hawaii puts his wave riding skills to the test to save people caught in the floodwaters. We'll show you. But first, Ed has more on our own flooding. Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the noon news on Q2. Montana's news leader.